Get me right. The affairs of South Sudan are for South Sudanese. Those using state agencies to silence the citizens are the makers of the country's downfall. We need to speak out. Honorable Nhial Deng Nhial's declaration has accomplished what few within the SPLM have the courage to undertake, speaking truth to a movement that has lost its moral direction. Nhial's words were both steady and piercing, principled but painful. They served as a reminder of the promise that founded this nation, that South Sudan would be led by individuals of courage, intellect, and conviction. To me, his message was not one of rebellion. It was a straightforward call for reform that evokes memories of purpose. However, the response from Honorable Bol Makweng, the Secretary for Political Affairs, Mobilization and Organization, fell short of what the moment demanded. His reply was narrow-minded, personal, and defensive. Altogether, it was inconsequential. Instead of engaging in a discussion of ideas, he resorted to attacks, inadvertently exposing the weaknesses of the very system he sought to defend. In the minds of the genuine South Sudanese, the SPLM today is haunted not by its enemies, but by its own appointments. The deputies, starting from Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, the Secretary General, and the new office holders who are paraded as the party's torchbearers, represent a downgrade of the political intellect and moral character. These people are below average in all spheres of politics, diplomacy, and economics, and would be the typical examples of what incompetency and cluelessness would be if they were to appear in human form. This is a painful contrast to the intellectual depth and political maturity of the movement's early architects, who are now being disrespectfully phased out. Many of the current SPLM top leaders were selected not for their competence, but for their compliance and conformity with Benjamin Bolmel's deadly project. Looting of the country and usurpation of power to protect the loot. The selection is never based on meritocracy, and thus the changed face of the SPLM can no longer be characterized by courage but convenience and sycophancy. This is how reform dies. Any reform that dies not through confrontation, but through the quiet substitution of brilliance with mediocrity. The Renaissance Declaration, as claimed by Honorable Bol Makweng, was aimed at the transformation of the SPLM into a hub of innovative ideas and strong discipline. As a matter of fact, we are now observing a gradual erosion of that vision. Reformers are being replaced by loyalists and thinkers by those who prioritize comfort. A party that once embodied the spirit of liberation, unity, and vision, grounded on the hopes of a prosperous nation, has become introspective. Today, that spirit is under siege from within. This new stance has blurred the lines between loyalty and effective leadership, while misinterpreting the silence of the citizens as a sign of unity. It is true that President Salva Kiir Mayardit deserves respect for his endurance and statesmanship, but this fact stands. Even the most experienced captain must periodically assess his crew. Those entrusted with guiding this movement are dimming its light. They surround the president with applause instead of constructive advice, which is how leaders can become disconnected from the country they have helped build. South Sudanese from all walks of life, the farmers, the soldiers, the teachers, traders, and fishmongers, are observing closely. They are aware when leadership prioritizes its own interests over the country's interests. They are speaking up in a low tone. They claim that they have witnessed a troubling transformation, a shift from liberation to comfort, from reform to resistance, and from comradeship to competition. To those looting the country and destroying the SPLM vision, those who call themselves students of Dr. John Garang, when they had never come close to him, underscored this: the silence of the people should not be mistaken for ignorance. It is a reflection of their fatigue. Citizens are saying that Nhial Deng Nhial's declaration is not a provocation. It serves as a call for rescue. It urges the SPLM to reconnect with its core values and to transcend personal sensitivities and restore the dignity that once established it as the moral authority of this land. Honorable Nhial Deng's words are intended not to divide but to awaken. This fact stands clear. The nation's heartbeat is still strong. What it needs now is a leadership that can listen to it. The SPLM must choose whether to remain a symbol of the past or to become the architect of a renewed future. And if it chooses the latter, then voices like Nhial Deng's must not be silenced. They must be amplified. South Sudan cannot afford small politics any further. Citizens need to think for themselves. Dr. Benjamin Ball made rapid ascension, and his work in the past few months proved horrible. He is running the country down rapidly. He lacks qualities of a good leader, and his character proved that he is not endowed with any empathy for the country. He possesses no iota of charisma, with little mind. Therefore, the country needs big minds, brave hearts, and clean hands. Anything less is betrayal. Till then, yours truly, Mr. Teetotaler. This opinion piece is by Emmanuel Sunday Dijon. Please subscribe to the SSGTV South Sudan Global. We will keep uploading informative videos.